This is how to create a vendor and customer master setup in CUSCEN. Let's start with vendor configuration. Go to configurations, master data, and vendor master. We can start the configuration by setting up our vendor class. We can categorize vendors to a specific class. Every vendor that uses this class will automatically set their GL account with settings as such. Here is the example result of Xiaomi.inc vendor class. And next we have a vendor type, which we can configure our own document number based on the vendor type. For vendor group, we can be more specific on what kind of vendor that we are handling with. For example, we have a material vendor, marketing vendor, service vendor, unit vendor, and many more. And finally, we have intercompany, and it is optional and will be discussed in a separate video. After finishing all those configurations, we can continue on creating the vendor master. Head on to Distribution, Master Data, Vendor, and press the Add button. In General Information, fill in the important fields such as vendor code, vendor name, vendor type, class, group, currency, and contact person. We can also specify the text code here. For vendor address, it is optional and some of the fields came from General Information. GL account is automatically determined by our vendor class that we have set up before, but we can still change them here. Other optional fields like bank details, cash discount, attachments, and BP will be discussed in a separate video. Once everything is done, hit the save button and the data will be saved and our vendor is complete. Next, let's set up a customer master. Navigate to configurations, master data, and customer master. Just like vendor, the first configuration that we will be doing is customer class. Just like vendor class, customer class helps us easily classify GL accounts automatically based on the class. Here is the result of the customer class that we have created. Customer type will also help us on generating the specific document number. Customer group will help us be more specific with what kind of customer that we are dealing with. And finally, these are all the additional data that can be configured for our customer. What's special in CUSCEN is that we can configure our own rules for interest. After finishing our customer configurations, we can start with creating our customer master. Head on to Distribution, Master Data, Customers, and press the Add button. In General Information, fill in the important fields such as customer code, customer name, customer type, class, group, currency, and contact person. We can also specify the text code here. Customer address is optional and some of the fields came from General Information. Partner is also optional as well, which acts as an information on the contact person of the customer's company. We can set up the credit amount for our customer, and this will have effect during the sales order process. GL account is automatically determined by our customer class, but we can still change them here. And finally, these are all the optional fields that we can specify. We have branch information, salesman's list, address informations, attachments, and BP. If everything checks out, hit the save button and the data will be saved. Our customer is complete.